For example, like when talking about like, oh, we have like a diverse campus, like as true as that may be, some of the resources like, counseling or like certain other things like can possibly be lacking. And just like, the holistic student experience, not all students experience the campus the same way. And so I think that's definitely not, a lot of the awareness is not brought to that aspect of it. So.
Okay, my name is Amari.
Well, my name is Najla. Most people call me Naj.
My name is Dureti Gaga.
I am from a very, very small, kind of rural town of Ocala, Florida, northern Florida. We out here.
I'm from Los Angeles, California.
I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
And my sign that I am so proud to represent is Capricorn, of course.
And I'm a Gemini.
I'm a Libra.
Even the language of like people thinking that they choose their university, it's just like that really wasn't my experience.
And I'd applied, and long story short, the financial aid package was really good. So, yeah.
There's just being a first generation college student, the expectation. I mean, my parents always said, you go to college to get a good education so you can get a good job. And so that was kind of my thought process too. Just figured going to a school, going to a PWI would give me like a good network and, put me in a good spot to get a good job after graduation. So essentially that's why.
This was the school that offered the most, and also it was funny because this is the school that sent me like some like Black Lives Matter like mailing thing, and I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was definitely something dealing with like black issues or like crafting themselves as like, we love black people and we love social justice. I got here and found out that was a fucking scam.
I didn't know really what to expect when coming to college because like I'm the first person like in my family to go to college. But overall very stressful. And I definitely didn't expect that at all. For example, like when talking about like, oh, we have like a diverse campus, like as true as that may be, some of the resources like, counseling or like certain other things like can possibly be lacking. And just like, the holistic student experience, not all students experience the campus the same way. And so I think that's definitely not, a lot of the awareness is not brought to that aspect of it. So.
The lack of support is just, especially as like a low income first generation, Black woman on campus is just, it's hard. It's
Diversity, inclusion, intersectionality, all bullshit. I just feel like diversity, all these are just buzzwords that people like to throw around and be like, oh, look how great we are, when really nothing about the institution, nothing about the school is actually doing any type of diversity initiative that actually works. And even the black people that do come here that they think count as diversity are all from a very specific socioeconomic class and from a very specific upbringing. Like, they don't want folks like me here. And I think they were surprised. I think a lot of people are surprised, when you see like folks walk around in do-rags or like with like, my nails are pretty short right now, but like with really long nails, or like not speaking normal English or whatever that means. Like, they don't actually want people like that here. They just want people who will assimilate well and who, it's just, when I hear diversity, that's all I think about. I just think about the you know, what's the word for it? The 10%, you know, it's like W.E.B. Du Bois, and he was like the 10% of Black elites and the talented 10. There we go. Diversity and inclusion, that's a buzzword for talented 10 folks, and that doesn't matter really whatever racial category we're talking about, it's always the talented 10 folks. And I don't think people understand that. And I've been trying to get people to understand that here. Diversity, it doesn't really mean anything for me. And intersectionality, I'm just so tired of people using that word. When they mean intersectionality, they really just mean some racial category mixed with cisgender womanness, and that's pretty much it. They don't really actually talk about intersectionality or even understand what that means, because it's really evaluation of like oppressive forces, not the actual intersections of identity. I don't even know what's going on with that word. I feel so sorry for the person who created it. Their name is escaping from my mind, but that's just been taken and blown way out of the original context by like white cis feminists, and it's pretty sad. But all of that to say, those are buzzwords. Don't believe diversity or inclusion or intersectionality. Look it up first. Don't believe them.
Okay, so I think as far as being seen and being invisible, like just being a black like person on this campus or like a black woman on this campus, it's like you're kind of both at the same time. I think that like being invisible or being seen is like your blackness, well, at least for me, like my blackness like trumps everything, and then like me being a woman is like the next highest thing up. And with a lot of the like cultural movements, a lot of the like Me Too things, and the everything going on, like my womanliness and in like a cultural aspect, or when we do kind of talk about like not pop culture, but just kind of like the current political climate, I guess you could say, I do feel seen. But then at the same time, like with that, there is a sense of invisibility, because like when you think of like the Me Too movement, a lot of the people who are thought of are like white women, or when you think of like Black Lives Matter, a lot of the people who are thought of are like black men. And so it's just like kind of not where do I fit, because I definitely fit in all of that, but with the ways in which like culture and society and things like that are set up, it's just like everybody else is like in the hierarchy a little bit above. So I guess kind of feeling seen and invisible is like in the same thing. And although I'm talking about like the greater kind of political climate of like the United States, like that definitely trickles down like to class discussions and Facebook groups and whatever else happens. So
You have to create your safe spaces here, and I just think that's not okay. And as much as it's marketed, as much as PWIs market that, they're a safe space and it's a space where diversity and inclusion are prioritized, and it's like, I guess those words are prioritized, but the people, the human beings, the students of color, particularly Black students, are not prioritized at all. They're not valued. We're not valued. And it's hard to have that burden as like a young person who is just trying to get their degree. And it's really hard for others. Even, I can't paint a brush and say like all Black students experience college this way. That's not what I'm trying to do. But it's just, as a Black woman, and, especially for other people, like Black queer women on campus, it's hard, and it's exponentially hard, just because we are who we are, and like that shouldn't be the case.